Welcome to the Home Education with Ease podcast. I'm your host, Christine Furman, a homeschool mom, entrepreneur, and educator with over 20 years of experience in the areas of elementary and special education. It's my mission to help you create lifelong learners and embrace a holistic approach to education at home. I'll be sharing practical strategies, inspiration, and resources to support your family. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, a business owner, or balancing work and homeschool, you're in the right place to connect with a community that values education just as much as you do. Join us each week as we ditch the stress, embrace the joy of learning, and set your family up for a lifetime of success. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to the summer short series on the Home Education with Ease podcast. I'm your host, Christine Furman, your home education expert. Our summer shorts are a series of short and sweet episodes created to inspire and encourage you during the summer months. I know they can be jam-packed, full of many things, or full of many days of relaxation and fun in the sun. So we're keeping them short and action-packed as we dive into summertime. Today, what we're going to be talking about is how you can literally take anything and everything you do this summer and turn it into something that is fun and meaningful and an opportunity for learning without adding anything extra to your plate. So if you are ready to turn all of these activities that we're doing with our kids into learning opportunities or teaching moments. So learning opportunities, that is really part of my EduPlay learning curriculum. The teaching moments is that real life skills, really preparing them for life. So all of the things that we do with our kids throughout the summer are part of both of those, right? They're learning opportunities as well as teaching moments. So we're going to dive in. We're going to talk a little bit about how you can take these opportunities and turn them into learning opportunities or teaching moments. Well, first, I just want to share a little bit about some of the personal experiences that we've had and how I've turned our learning opportunities, how I've made our fun outings into learning opportunities. So Mother's Day, let's talk about that, for example. All I wanted to do was go to a nice restaurant, right? Just have some lunch or dinner, and I wanted to play pickleball, and then I just wanted to relax the next day on actual Mother's Day. So when we went to lunch, we are able then the kids are able to look at the menu. They're able to read the items on the menu, and then they're able to order their own food. That is very important to me that they can read through the menu and tell the server what they want, whether that's their drink, their food, dessert, all of the above. You can even take that a step further and have them calculate an estimate or the exact cost of how much the meal is going to be. So you can have everyone's price for their meal and add that all up, have your kiddos add that up, talk about tax, talk about a tip, and then they're able to see when that bill does come, how much was the order, how much was their bill, and then what is the tip that we're going to leave and what's an appropriate tip. So right there, you can turn just going to a restaurant, right? Lunch or dinner, or even if you're grabbing just donuts and coffee, like you can turn that all into an opportunity for them to practice their math skills. And it doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be here, sit down and do this worksheet. It's actual real life skills. And they can do it on paper. And then you can give them the phone and show them, but you can also use a calculator and showing them how to use a calculator, not relying on a calculator, but having it as a tool that is with them that's available. And then that's also an opportunity. One, like I said, talking about the tax, then talking about a tip. You can be talking about percentages, multiplication. As you can see, we can really take this one instance where we're going out to eat and turn it into a full-on math lesson. So that's one thing that we do when we go out to eat. And the other thing is when we went and played pickleball, we had no idea what we were doing. We watched some YouTube videos. We talked to some of the first time that we went, we talked to some of the employees there to give us a kind of a guideline. We observed other people and we saw how they played. And then we just started to go in and just experience it. Did we do it perfect? Absolutely not. We still don't know all the rules. We don't know how to score. But as we continue to go, because right now it's all about just getting the feel for it, enjoying it and really having that intentional family time like we talked about last episode and just having fun with it. But you can even go one step further, in which we will as we continue to go. What is the scoring? What are the actual rules? How do we make sure that we are taking this fun activity, right? This active activity where we're actually moving too and turning it into something that we are learning about. And we are, practicing those math skills, those reading skills, those interaction skills where they're talking to people, where they have to order food if we're going to get food there or drink there, or we have to talk to other people that once we bounce our ball onto their court, we have to say, oh, sorry, and have that interaction. So please don't underestimate all of the things that you do with your kids as learning opportunities because they really, truly are. So let's just continue on that just a little bit more, where another example for us was my mother-in-law came to visit us for 2 weeks, and she loves to play pinochle. And her and my husband both taught me how to play a couple years ago. And my mom taught me years ago before that, but I really wasn't into it. I didn't grasp it, right? I still am like, what are the rules? What's the scoring? I still need some reminders. But Alex has taken to it so much that every day that's his thing. Hey, can we play pinochle? Can we play pinochle? Which, don't get me wrong, I do have to be a little worrisome. Make sure you're not turning into some card shark or something like that. But I love that he's excited. Now, does he overbid? Absolutely. Does he know totally how to, make it realistic and make sure he's actually, sometimes he does, and sometimes he does an amazing job. And then sometimes he thinks he knows, but then he has to get the points removed. So pinochle, you don't play with a full deck. If anyone has played pinochle or not, just give you real quick. You don't play with a full deck. You play with like 9s through aces, and the aces and the 10s are the most valuable. You have to, it's a lot. There can be a lot of things, right? A lot of rules, which for me, that's something that I was impressed that he was able to sit there, learn from his grandmother how to play this complex card game, right? It's not Go Fish. It's not Crazy Eights. I mean, it's pretty complex, and that he grasped it so quickly. So again, he's interacting and communicating with my mother-in-law, an adult, learning math skills or practicing math skills, let's say, right? Learning a new game, same thing with pickleball, learning a new skill. So don't underestimate all of those opportunities. Anytime that they go out and they try something new, that's good for them, whether they like it or not. For Ella, she's not a huge pickleball or pinochle fan, but we go and we try, and she gravitates to things that she enjoys. Does she still participate? Yes, but she would rather start a business and make dog treats and interact with her customers. And it's just, that's a whole nother, opportunity for learning right there. So don't underestimate. I think that's the biggest thing here is everything that we do with our kids is truly a learning opportunity, and it can really be something that's fun and meaningful. So I want you to think about this. So for me, our kids are not in swim, and my kids are not on the baseball team, right? But I know many families are. And I know that whether everyone is participating or not, you're probably there for an extended period of time. So whether you're in swim and you have some extra kids, you can talk about the laps. You can talk about the meters. You can talk about how many, obviously I don't know that much about the swim and going back and forth, right? How much is a lap? And just, you can talk about those. You can be counting, you can be adding, you can, again, be talking to other people there. You can bring games to play with your kids. So when we went to lunch one time, Alex brought checkers and we were sitting there able to play a game instead of getting on a device. Which, don't get me wrong, there are times for that definitely to be intentional with devices and screens. And we're going to talk about that next episode. So be sure to stay tuned for that, because there is definitely a time and place for that. But can you look at these other opportunities and turn them into learning opportunities without turning to a screen first? So just remember that real life is really the curriculum. You are doing all of these things with your kids naturally. And if not, I have some ideas for you right now. So take some of these notes, but definitely reach out to me in the Home Education with Ease Facebook group as well. If you're like, listen, I want some more ideas like this. I want to look at all of these opportunities and say, wow, I can turn all of these activities into a learning moment. Please show me how, right? That's what I would love to be able to help you do. But today I'm going to give you some ideas right now. So everyday things that you can do that you can turn into a learning opportunity. Going to the grocery store or the farmer's market. Again, we can be doing a lot of math here. Price comparison. You can do that at the grocery store where you're saying, okay, let's look at these ketchups, right? I don't know why that came to my mind, but it did. And let's look at the comparison. This bottle versus this bottle. How much? How many ounces? Which one is a better deal? Which one is the one we're going to choose? Whether you need to buy it because it's a better deal or because you like that brand better. Shout out to Heinz Ketchup there. If we're going to go with ketchup analogies from Pittsburgh, you got to go with Heinz, right? So that was a little side note, but you can really be talking about prices. You can talk about budgeting. And you can, like we do, a family meeting on Saturday, and we talk about all the meals that we're going to have. We talk about the food that we need to add to our grocery list. And we can really be talking about, okay, well, at this grocery store, we're going to spend this amount. So whether that means we need to be paying attention to the cost of everything that we get this week, or making everyone aware that we're not going to be buying a bunch of snacks because we're going to be focused on whole foods or the foods that we need to make our meals for this week. So being a part of that, I mean, the grocery store, you can even back that up even further before even going to the grocery store and turn that all into a health lesson where you're talking about the food that you're going to have for the week. You're going to be talking about how it is good for our body. You're going to be talking about eating whole foods instead of snacks, how well one is going to fill you up versus the other, especially in the summer, right? When our kids are home more and our schedule may be a little bit more relaxed. Well, it's easy to just go to the pantry and just grab some snacks. But if we're intentional with our food choices, maybe we do a little meal prep on Sunday, we're then able to make those good, healthy choices throughout the week. So all of that part of going to the grocery store, the farmer's market. You can also talk about, where does food come from, right? The science of it all. Are we at the dairy farm? Are we going to the beef farm, right? The where the beef is grown, right? Or the cows are grown or raised. Oh, geez. Or are we going to talk about where the vegetables are grown in the garden and talk about where it all is coming from? Talk about the farmers. Talk about the process of it all. So again, you can take these topics and you can dive so deep into them because that is all part of what we do all the time, daily. You can talk about reading labels, the signs. You can always practice spelling anywhere you're at, whether you're at the grocery store or you are at a restaurant, practice spelling right there as you're waiting or while you're searching for food, write it down on a list and have your kiddos match up that word with the word that they're trying to find or the item that they're trying to find. So all of these real world skills, right? Life skills that are going to serve them for their life. They're going to have to go grocery shopping. They're going to have to look at budgets. They're going to have to decide what's the better deal. Which one do we want to get if it is a good deal or if it's not, and be able to make those choices. Some other options would be, another opportunity would be nature walk or going to the park. And we've done this before. My kids made a dam with just mulch and stuff that was there at the park. And there was water coming down from a splash pad, and they were able to build a dam up, and they were able to direct the water certain different ways, whether it was off the path of the walkway or into the grass so again, science. And at that point, they were able to use some calculations. So they can be observing insects or plants or birds or the trees or flowers or whatever other nature you will find there. We see snakes at our park that we go to. We see turtles, frogs. Then they can take it one step further. I've created a nature journal where they can journal and draw everything that they see and write about it and just say, this is what I saw and this is what it looked like. Or they can describe it, and they can describe it whether it's written or whether they're just going to pause in the moment and tell you how they feel, how it sounds, how it looks, right? By using their 5 senses. Don't taste things probably at the park, probably not a good idea. But using their senses, they're able then to just really take in their surroundings. So again, great opportunities while you're just at the park. How about when you're in the car? I talk about this one a lot. When you go in the car, I know for us, we always practiced our letters. We practiced math facts. Still to this day, we read in the car. We practice facts. When they were younger, we would practice their name and their address. You can do songs while you're in the car. You can practice poems. And you can look for license plates. I know on road trips we do this. We look for different license plates, see if you can get all 50, or you can count how many license plates of this state did you find. You can introduce them to maps and different routes. I know for me, I rely on my GPS and my Google Maps a lot. I don't necessarily know the names of the roads. Or people ask me, how do you get from Georgia to Pittsburgh? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know the interstates that I get on. I just follow the GPS. So I think I'll be more intentional about that this summer. So I do actually know, because what happens if? What happens if we don't have that technology? We need to figure out how we're going to navigate it. So just even introducing that to our kids of saying, this is a map, and it could be on our phone. And you could introduce them the interstates and which way they go and which ones we're going to take to get from here to there. And maybe that's just a short ride, or maybe it is a long road trip. But there's always amazing opportunities in the car for everyone to be interactive. And definitely there's time for downtime. We definitely have screen time. We definitely have movies, but we also are intentional with that time too, where we read in the car and we talk about different topics and themes, whether it's a school related topic that we're talking about, or maybe it's a life skills. Maybe it's a situation that came up and we need to address it. So all those things in the car. I definitely have a road trip bingo and different road trip activities. So if you're interested in that, definitely comment below or grab that freebie or join the Home Education with Ease Facebook group to grab that road trip bingo. All right, a few more things before we wrap up for today. The library, definitely take time to go to the library and allow them to pick books that they're interested in, but also look at picking books that there's a theme that you're going to talk about, right? Like I mentioned in the last episode, we did a safari theme one year for summer, and we just were able to search and get all of these safari books. And we found some new reading series that we wanted to read. We found some fun picture books, and some of them weren't that great, and that's okay. So we were able to kind of weed those out and see which ones we really liked and which ones we were going to read and kind of dive into. But it's great for the kiddos, great for them to be able to read something new and different. And then also for you guys all to come together and learn new things. I love reading aloud with my kids because I love learning with them. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that fact, or I didn't realize this. And I just love that. So a little bit of responsibility at the library would be allowing them to get a library card and allowing them to be responsible for that library card and knowing when their books are due. So looking at a calendar and saying, okay, we took them out this day. We have 2 weeks before we have to return them, and making sure they have that time to be able to read them and then be able to return them. And then you can always take those books that you read and draw pictures, write stories, share the information that you learned. It could be a video, it could be with your family, your siblings, neighbors, right? Just allowing them to take that information that they learned and just share it, because they're probably excited about these facts that they learned about. So the final thing would be getting in the kitchen and baking and cooking together. And I talk about this one a lot. Baking and cooking is so good. One, life skills, right? They're always going to have to make food for themselves and their spouses, right? I want both my son and daughter to be fluent in the kitchen so they know how to cook and bake. They know how to clean up after themselves, and they can completely take care of meals, right? And being a good example for our kids as well. So my husband steps in the kitchen all the time, and he is in there cooking with me. He's in there cleaning up with me. So my son naturally is seeing that, and he is right there along with us. My daughter, same thing, knowing that we do this together, or knowing that she's capable of making food herself, cleaning up after herself, preparing for a party. We do that as well, so they can see all of that. So remember, you are an amazing example for them, and you're always practicing measurement and fractions. Again, even if they don't realize it, recipes are all about measurement and fractions, mixing and heat reactions, and all of that scientific chemical reactions that are happening while we bake, and we don't even realize that that's what's happening, right? And then following directions. Planning the meals. This goes back to our meal planning for the week or planning for a party. All right, this recipe is for, a family, but we're going to have 5 families here. How many do we actually need? And we're going to make other food. So really talking about that planning. Now for me, probably not a good one. I over plan. I definitely could feed an entire army when I have a party, and I like it that way because I never know what someone's going to like. I want to make sure I have a variety and have options, and I want to make sure that I have plenty. So that is always what we do when we have parties. We always have extra above and beyond, but it's a good lesson for your children to be able to kind of figure that out. Well, I just want to I hope that these are inspiring and encouraging for you to really just look at what you're doing naturally every day. Again, not adding anything extra to your plate, but allowing you to take these moments and turn them into learning opportunities with your kids naturally. Because you're doing it. You're doing so much. And just don't let those little moments, go by without thinking that they are learning. They're learning a lot. And it doesn't have to be complicated, right? Be present and just be intentional with all of the opportunities that come your way. But I encourage you, kind of look for them and say, oh my goodness, even cleaning the bathrooms, I can talk about X, Y, and Z. We've talked about digestion while we're sitting at the kitchen table, right? All of those small moments, they add up to the big ones. Well, if you want more ideas and activities like this, right? I can just go on and on about so many different activities that you could do with your kids this summer. But if you have kiddos 5 and under, maybe even 7 and under, in that age range, the summer activity kit is perfect for you. So it's full of over 70 different activities, songs, recipes, math ideas, letters, crafts, all the things, hands-on, videos that go with them. And I'm right there to walk alongside you, sharing all of these activities so you can really enjoy learning with your kids and not be stressed at all. So that's one thing that I have to share with you. The other thing is, if your kiddos need a little extra boost in reading, definitely check out the Reading Fundamentals program. And it's definitely great for kiddos that want to build their confidence in reading, or if they're just starting out learning, it's helpful for that too. So whether it's learning your letters or going on to the word families or spelling or comprehension and fluency, we've got you covered in the Reading Fundamentals program. So be sure to check those out in the show notes below, as well as join the Home Education with Ease Facebook group. I would love to know, what are some of the activities that you're doing with your kids this summer? So share those mundane, regular activities, and then I would be happy to share with you how you can turn those activities into learning opportunities in a natural and fun way. So definitely reach out in that Home Education with Ease Facebook group. I would love to get connected with you. Well, be sure to join us next week. We're going to dive into screen time and how to use it intentionally without the guilt. Well, I hope you enjoy your summer, and remember, see each moment as a chance to learn, create, and have fun. Thank you for tuning in to the Home Education with Ease podcast. I hope today's episode left you feeling empowered and ready to take the next steps on your home education journey. Your support means the world to me. Please subscribe, leave a review, and share with a friend. For even more resources, be sure to join the free Facebook group, Home Education with Ease, and visit eduplaylearning.com to explore our programs and subscription kits. You can find the links and any other links mentioned in this episode in the show notes below. Remember, you're not alone. This community is here to support you every step of the way.